Hey everybody, let's see here. Trying to see if I can get it to come up. Give me a second. Dag blag. It's not wanting to show. Give me a second. Dag blag. There we go. Now we got her. Hey, super fast. What's going on? All right. This stream here just about spoilers today. All right, let's go over yesterday's spoilers since I had to rush through them this morning. Now this time we can actually take our times, think, read the cards, think about what they can do. First off, we have Judith, Carnage Connoisseur for 3 black and red. Legendary creature, human shaman. Has a big bud on it, 3/4, not too bad. For 5. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose 1. The spell gains Death Touch and Lifelink. That's good. I like that. Or you can create a 2/2 red imp creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. That's nice too. 2 good abilities on this card. I like it. Next, we got Kaya, Spirits Justice for 4. 2 generic white and black. Comes in with 3 loyalty. Where 1 or more creatures you control and or creature cards in your graveyard are put into exile, you may choose a creature card from among them until end of turn. Target token you control becomes a copy of it, except it has fun. So let's say you got your holder in your graveyard, you exile it. Your token becomes a holder till end of turn. That's not too bad, but it's not bad, but it's not real good either. It's only till end of turn. But her upside is her +2 ability, you get to surveil 2. Then exile a card from a graveyard. So it has graveyard hate, which is good. Because it's from a graveyard, so you can exile your opponent's graveyard to shut down those reanimator decks. Then her +1 ability, you get to create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying, which will work with her static ability. Not too bad at all, since she can protect herself. Then she has a -2. Exile target creature you control for each other player exiled to 1 target creature that player controls. So you can have your little 1/1 out there. You do that -2 ability, kill your little 1/1, then you get to pick one of your opponent's creatures and exile it. Not too bad. So she has some upsides and downsides. The downside is her static ability is only to end a turn. Next, we got Kaylin, Inquisitive Prodigy. 2 green and a blue. Has an adventure. For green and a blue, cast an adventure side, which is tail the suspect. You get to investigate. You may play and you get to play another land. So if you got 3 land, so if you got extra land in hand, you get to play another land. That's not too bad. Anything to get extra land on the battlefield is pretty good. Then for 4, you cast a creature side. That's flying and vigilance. Whenever Kaylin Exquisitive Prodigy attacks, destroy up to 1 target artifact. If you control that permanent, draw a card. So it hates. So it wants artifacts. Next, we have a one-sided board wipe. I like it. It's Angel. Aurora's Vindicator. For 2 whites. It has disguise for X3 whites. Has flying, lifelink, Ward 2. When Aurora's Vindicator is turned face up, exile up to X target creature cards from the battlefield and or creature cards from graveyards. When Aurora's Vindicator leaves the battlefield, return the exile cards to their owner's hand. So it's pretty good, actually. Because, say you play this, you flip it, you wipe your opponent, you exile your opponent's cards, leave your cards alone, then you go in for the kill. Next, we got Atraia, Deadly Fugitive. It's a 1/4. Not too bad. It's for 1 blue and a black. Dimir. Legendary creature, Vampire Assassin. Has Death Touch. Face down creatures you control have pay 4, 2, a blue and a black. Turn this creature face up. If you can't, exile it. Then you may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost. That is very good. Whatever assassin you control deals combat damage to an opponent, cloak the top card of that player's library. Not bad. Next we have this artifact land clue. Scene of the crime. Enters the battlefield tapped. You tap it for a colorless. You tap an untapped creature you control and add 1 mana of any color. Not too bad. Or you can pay 2, sacrifice Scene of the Crime, and draw a card. So it enables you to ramp with the creature, and it also allows you to draw. So that's not too bad, actually. Next, we have Argus Cross, Spirit of Justice, Boros. 2 red and whites. Legendary creature, Spirit Detective. Has double strike, vigilance. Not too bad. When Argus Cross, Spirit of Justice enters the battlefield or attacks, choose up to 1 target creature. If it's suspected, exile it. Otherwise, suspect it. And then it's 2/4. So with this card, you play it, you put a suspected counter on one of your opponent's creatures. Then, when you attack with this card, you can exile their creature. Not bad. I like it. Next, we got Massacre Girl, Known Killer. 4/4. 4/4. Not too bad. And legendary creature, Human Assassin. Has menace, and creatures you control have wither. They deal damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters. Whenever a creature opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, draw a card. Excuse me. So yeah, that's pretty good. And this also will work with your Etrata because whenever an assassin you control deals combat damage to a player, cloak the top card of that player's library. Massacre is a assassin. Hey, Thea. Next, we have Tothmir's Midnight Lights for 2 green, white. It's 3/2. Legendary creature, Elf Scouts with lifelink. And when in Tothmir Midnight's Light enters the battlefield, create a Voja Fernstalker, a legendary 5/5 green and white wolf creature token with trample. And whenever a wolf you control attacks, if Tothmir attacked this combat, target creature opponent controls blocks that wolf this combat if able. So, say your opponent has 1 creature. Of course, they're going to have more than 1 because of the cost of this. And you play this, you get that wolf, you attack. They have to block that wolf instead of this creature. Pretty good. Next, we have Trosani 3 Whispers. For 1 hybrid green-white mana and a white. 4/4 for 3. That ain't bad at all. Pay 1 and a green, target creature gains death touch until end of turn. Good. Pay a hybrid, which is green-white. Target creature gains vigilance until end of turn. That's good. Pay 2 and a white, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Not bad. So let's say you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Say you got 6 mana on the battlefield when you play this. When you do, you can get all 3. Because you had to pay for these. And since you had to pay for them, you can get all 3 if you wanted to. So you give a creature death touch, vigilance, and double strike. That ain't bad at all. And nowadays, it ain't hard to get 6 mana on the battlefield, especially in green. Next, we have Clocks, Visionary Inventor, legendary creature, Vicino Artificer. For 7 mana, 5 generic, a blue, and a red 4/4. That's high cost for a 4/4. See what it does. It has menace, ward 2, and haste. So it can attack as soon as it comes down. Whenever Kylox, Visionary Inventor, attacks, sacrifice any number of other creatures, then exile the top X cards of your library, where X is their total power. You may cast any number of instant or sorceries from among the exile cards without paying their mana cost. Well, this can whiff big time. This card, to me, it's okay. Another card that'd go with this is this case right here. Case of the Ransacked Lab. For 2 and a white, instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. This will work good with Hadi Djinn, which also reduces your instants and sorceries. And then to solve, which is the next chapter, you have cast 4 or more instants of sorcery spells this turn. So it goes to the second chapter when you cast 4 or more instants and sorceries. Then, if unsolved, at the beginning of your end step, it gets solved. And whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, draw a card. Once it's on the battlefield, it stays unless it's destroyed. All right, next we have Krenko, Baron of 10 Streets. For 2 and red, 3/3. Legendary creature Goblin with haste. Alright, you tap it, sacrifice the artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on each goblin you control. Okay. Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay 1 red. If you do, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. It gains haste until end of turn. Okay. This is Krenko is hollering for treasures. Treasures are artifacts. You tap a treasure, call for red, and when your treasure go into the battlefield, then into exile. So when you pay that treasure, you sacrifice it, you get a goblin, then you each time. And also you can tap Krenko, sacrifice a treasure, get the goblin, and put a +1 counter on each goblin you control. Krenko is going to be running rampant. I do believe. Next, we have a Boros. 1 red, white. Love this card. War Leader's Call. Enchantments. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Not too shabby. Whenever a creature enters a battlefield under your control, War Leader's Call deals 1 damage to each opponent. Now, I can see War Leader's Call and Krenko going in a red-white deck. Sacrifice a treasure. You get that Krenko, you get that goblin. War Leader's Call triggers. Then your Krenko triggers also. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. I believe these two will go together. Next, we have another detective. Zone, Center of the Web. 4 black and green. Elf detective with menace. And when this card enters the battlefield or attacks, you may collect evidence 4. If you do, create 2 1/1 black and green spider creature tokens with menace and reach. Sacrifice 4 tokens, surveil 2, then draw 2 cards and gain 2 life. It's okay. Collecting that evidence is where you have to exile something with total mana value 4. I mean, you can exile 2 cards, cost 2 each, and that's your 4. Or if you have something in your graveyard that costs 4, you can exile it. I don't want to exile. I don't care too much about exiling. Next, we have Tasia Plutant Oligarch. For 1 black and white, Orzhov. Legendary creature, human advisor with Death Touch. At the beginning of your end step, investigate for each opponent who lost life this turn. Not bad. Whenever a clue you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. This ability triggers only once each turn. Not too bad, so it makes another creature. That's good. Next, we have a land that you can turn into, that you can play as a creature. Branch of Virtue Gaza. You tap it for a colorless, has Disguise 3. You may play this card face down for 3. So you pay 3, you can play this card as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. And when Branch of Gaza is turned face up, add 2 mana of any one color until the end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. And it will cost 3 to flip it. pay 3 to play it face down, and then you pay 3 more to flip it. Not too bad. I mean, it's 2 extra mana for a turn. So it'll help you cast. So I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad either. Next, we have Axebane Ferox Beast for 2 green 4/4. Has Death Touch and Haste. Has Ward Collect Evidence 4. So your opponent, in order for them to target this, they have to exile mana value 4 or greater. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell, the ability opponent controls, counter it unless that player exiles cards with total mana value 4 or greater from their graveyard. Not bad. Next, we got us a blue case. Hey, Stokes. We got another case. A case of the Fletched Falcon. 1 blue. When this case enters a battlefield, investigate. Not bad. To solve, you control 3 or more artifacts. Interesting. Then the last chapter, which is solved. Pay 2 and a blue, sacrifice this case, put 4 1/1 counters on target non-creature artifact. It becomes a 0/0 bird creature with flying in addition to its other type. So basically what that does is it turns an artifact into a 4/4. Into a 4/4 flyer. That ain't bad at all. Next we got Deadly Complication. For 1 black and red. Sorcery. Choose 1 or both. I'd like being able to choose both on some stuff. Destroy target creature. Not bad. I'll put a 1/1 counter on target suspected creature you control it. You may have it become no longer suspected. Nice. So if you got a creature that has a suspected counter on it, you can play this, destroy one of their creatures, your opponent's creatures, and put a +1/+1 counter on your creature that has a suspect counter on it. Nice. Next, we have Auspicious Arrival. For 1 and a whites, instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 to end a turn. Investigate. Not bad. I mean, there's a lot of draw in this set. That's pretty good. Next, we got Night Drinker Morali. For 3 and a black. 4/2. It's a creature vampire. Nice. Has flying. When Night Drinker Morali enters the battlefield, you lose 3 life. But it also has Disguise. So you pay 3. You play this as a 2/2. Then for your next turn, all you have to do is pay 2 black to flip it over to a 4/2. Not too, then you'll lose 3 life. That ain't too bad. As long as it has it's flying, 4/2 flyer. Next we have Gadget Technician. 2 blue and a red. Goblin Artificer. When Gadget Technician enters the battlefield or is turned face up, create a 1/1 colorless trophy artifact creature token with flying. Nice. And it also has Disguise, so you can play it as a 2/2. And then for hybrid blue, red, two hybrid blue or red, you can flip it. Not too bad. Next, we have another instant where you can choose 1 or both. Expose the Culprits. For 1 and a red, instant. Turn target face down creature face up. Exile any number of face up creatures you control with Disguise and face down pile. Shuffle that pile, then cloak them. To cloak a card, Alright, this tells you what cloak is. To cloak a card, put it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. Turn it face up at any time for its mana cost if it's a creature card. So basically, it's the same thing as Disguise. Next, we have a Mysterious Creature. It's a 2/2. No, wait a minute. What is this? I have no idea. You can cover face down creature with this reminder card. A face down creature card that is cloaked or is cast with Disguise has Ward 2. Okay, this is just this won't affect this ain't no arena card here. It's more of a paper card for this mechanic. This is the cloak or Disguise creature card. Okay. Next we have Samala Sentry for a green and a white 1/3 elf creature, elf archer with reach. Whenever face down permanent you control is turned face up, put a +1/+1 counter on it and a +1/+1 counter on Samala Sentry. A card that grows to cards that are cloaked or disguised. That ain't bad. So you can grow this pretty quick. Well, it'll take 2 turns to grow it. Because you got to play a card face down, then flip it to grow this. Next we have Galvanize. Instant. For 1 and a red. Galvanize deals 3 damage to target creature. If you draw 2 or more cards this turn, Galvanize deals 5 damage to that creature instead. Ooh, not too bad. Next, we got another red creature for 2 and a red, Goblin Bard. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on Crime Novelist, which is the name of this card, and add a red mana. That ain't bad. So you take this, play it, sacrifice a treasure, get your mana from your treasure, and then you also get mana from this card too. Good, that's a good red ramp. Next we have another land, Public Thoroughfare. Public Thoroughfare enters the battlefield tapped. When Public Thoroughfare enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you tap an untapped artifact or land you control. Add 1 mana of any color. So, this land right here cannot be played to turn 2. And when you play it at turn 2, you gotta tap your land in order to play this. So, you're pretty much tapped out on turn 2 if you play this on turn 2. It's okay. Next we have Enchantment Aura. For 1 red, enchant creature. When covenant target enters the battlefield, suspect enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Okay, why would you want to turn your own creature into a suspect? Don't know. But it gets +1/+1. And menace, and cannot block. Pay 3. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Man, it ain't too bad, actually. I don't mind my creatures having menace. But they can't block build on it. That can hurt you sometimes. Next, we have an enchantment aura in green. Airtight Alibi for 2 and a green. Has flash. Enchant creature. When an Airtight Alibi enters a battlefield, untap enchanted creature. It gains hexproof until end of turn. If it's suspected, it's no longer suspected. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and can't become suspected. So, not too bad. I mean, you can enchant your creature with this. Say you're going red and green. You enchant your creature with this. Then play this. This will get rid of the suspected part. And it'll have a +1 from this and a +2 from this. So that's +3. Not too bad. Next, we have this black instant for 5. It doesn't add up. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, then suspect it. Well, it's a reanimate spell. Most reanimators do cost 5. This ain't too bad. Next, we have Analyze the Pollen for 1 green sorcery. As additional cost to cast this spell, you may select Evidence 8. So you have to exile mana value of 8 in order to even cast this. Search your Alright, what it does. See what it does. Search your library for a basic land card. If evidence was collected instead, search your library for a creature or land card. Reveal that card, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. So if you cast this, you get to search for land. And you suspect it, then not suspect. You do collect the evidence, which is mana value 8, which is that's pretty high up there. You get to look for a creature and a land. Next, we have Vitsu Gaza Inspector. Creature Elf Detective. 1 in a green, 1/3. And as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may collect Evidence 6. And it has reach, which is good. When Spectre enters the battlefield, if evidence was collected, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control and gain 2 life. Not bad. So who wants to exile 6? Next, we have Bite Down on Crime for 3 in a green sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may collect Evidence 6. This spell costs 2 less to cast if evidence was collected. Not too good. Next, we have another case card. Case of the Pilfered Proof for 1 in a white. Whenever a detective enters a battlefield under your control, and whenever a detective you control is turned face up, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Not too bad. Then goes to solve. You control 3 or more detectives. So you get 3 detectives on the battlefield, you can go to the solve. Then if it's unsolved, you go to the solved. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus a clue token are created instead. I see this going in a token build with some detectives. Next, we have Assassin's Trophy. This is a reprint. For black and a green instant. Destroy target permanent an opponent controls. Its controller may search the library for basic land, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Interesting. Next, we have Crawl Whip Cracker for a black and a green. Insect Assassin. 3/2 with reach. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target token an opponent controls. Not too bad. I agree, Stokes. I like Assassin's Trophy myself. Too bad you can't cast it on your stuff, because if you could, you can get that land. Our, this is, now we got an instant, no more lies. For a white and a green. Instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. That spell will counter this way, exile it instead of putting it into the owner's graveyard. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Next we have Long Goodbye. For 1 black instant. And this spell cannot be countered. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value of 3 or less. Not bad. We'll not take Kaya out down here because he costs 4. Next up, we have some lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lands. And all these lands do the same thing. When they enter the battlefield, they enter the battlefield tapped, and when they enter the battlefield, you get to surveil 1. Yeah. You're right. This right here will kill Graveyard Trespasser. Goodbye, Graveyard Trespasser. Okay, let's get on past the land here. Next, we have a sorcery for 1 black. Additional cast cost this spell, you may collect evidence 6. Exile cards with total mana value 6 or greater from your graveyard. Each opponent sacrifices a creature if evidence was collected. Instead, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. So, you exile 6. Your opponent has to sacrifice the greatest power creature they control. If you don't collect the evidence, then they just have to sacrifice a creature, which is any creature. Yeah, you're right, Stokes. This is an island. It's also a mountain. Same with all these other ones. So that's great. All right. Next up, we have a white creature. Devastated Phantom for 4 white, 4/3. Creature spirit with flying. It has disguise for 5. So you pay 3, place it on the battlefield upside down as a 2/2 with ward 2. Then you pay 5 to flip it. And doesn't have any. It's more of a vanilla creature because it doesn't do anything. It's just a 4/3 flyer once it's flipped. Next, we have the Felonious Rage for 1 red. Instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. When that creature dies, this turn, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. Not too bad. Next, we have a green detective. Loxodon Eavesdropper for 3 and green. It's elephant detective. When Loxodon Eavesdropper enters the battlefield and investigates. And whenever you draw your second card, each turn, Loxodon Eavesdropper gets +1/+1, gains vigilance until end of turn. End of turn. It's a 3/3. Can be a 4/4 until end of turn. Not too bad. Throw this in blue. There's blue spells out there and blue creatures that enable you to draw 2 cards every turn. That'll help this to be a 4/4. Next, we have Dog Walker. Boros for red and the whites. Human Citizen, 3/1. Has vigilance, and also has disguise. So you can pay 1 extra mana to play this as a face-down creature with Ward 2. And when Dog Walker's turn face up, create 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens. So they want you to pay 1 extra to turn this upside down. Then you pay the mana cost to flip it. Either 2 reds or 2 whites. This, I like it, but I don't like it. Then we got No Witness. Give me just a minute. Okay. Hey Lawson, you got a message in Discord there. All right, No Witness. 2 green, 2 white. Sorcery. Each player who controls the most creatures investigates. Then destroy all creatures. For each player. I'd rather have a one-sided board wipe than this, to be honest. Still not a bad board wipe. Next, we have Sanitation Automation for 2. Artifact Creature. Construct. When Sanitation Automation enters the battlefield, surveil 1. 2/1. Okay. Next up, we have Market Watch Phantom. For 1 and a white, 2/2, Spirit Detective. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, Market Watch Phantom gains flying until end of turn. What do you think, D. Lawson?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. What do you think about this Market Watch Phantom? What are your thoughts?
Oh, that's solid for a flyer.
It's not a flyer.
Oh, it gains flying.
Whenever, yeah. I mean, it's all right, I think. Next, we have Homicide Investigator for 1 and a black. Human Detective 2/2. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control die, investigate. This ability only triggers once each turn. So you only want one creature to die per turn with this card. You want to take the next one, D. Lawson? Okay, I'll take it. And then Sharp Eye Rookie. 1 and a green. 2/2. Human Detective. Vigilance. Oh, I like that, Vigilance. And then whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if its power is greater than Sharp Eye Rookie's power, or its toughness is greater than Sharp Eye Rookie's toughness, put a +1/+1 counter on Sharp Eyed Rookie and investigate. Nice. This is a good card right here. Because you can make it bigger. You play a 3/3 right after you play this, it's going to get bigger. Next, we got for 3, 4, 5, for 5, 3 blue and red, a star creature. Legendary creature, Weird Detective. Relac, Reforge. Researcher's power and toughness are equal to twice the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. The first instant and sorcery spell you cast each turn costs 3 less to cast. That's good. That is good. But you want to get some instant and sorceries into your graveyard before you play this. And every time you cast an instant or sorcery, this card gets bigger. That's pretty good. Next, we have Toemilk, Wilder of Law. For 1, white and black. 2/4. Legendary creature, Human Advisor. Affinity for Planeswalker. So this card wants you to have Planeswalkers. So it works with Planeswalkers. Costs 1 less to cast for each Planeswalker you control. So you can have 1 Planeswalker on the battlefield. This will only cost you 2. Not bad. It has flying and vigilance. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or Planeswalkers you control, that opponent loses 3 life and you draw a card. Nice. This is nice. Next we have Voja, Jaws of the Conclave. For 2, red, green, and white. 5/5. Has vigilance, trample, and ward 3. It's regular old ward. When Voja, Jaws of the Conclave attacks, put X/1/1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of L's you control. Draw a card for each wolf you control. So it has 2 abilities. One is it'll give your L's +1/+1. And for each wolf you control, you get to draw a card. Interesting. Next, we got 3 foreign cards, so we won't have to click on these. Let's click on this black one first. It's a case for 1 black. When this case enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target creature that has been dealt damage this turn. So you don't want to play this until after you attack and your opponent blocks. Then to solve, which is the next chapter, if 3 or more creature cards have entered the graveyard from anywhere this turn. So it goes to the second chapter if 3 creatures die. Then when it's solved, it becomes a 4/4 Medusa creature with Death Touch and Lifelink, and it retains its original types. Nice. Next we have is a 6/5 creature for 6. Bloodline Ripper. For 3 black. Vampire Assassin. So we got us another assassin. Pretty good. Has flying ward, sacrifice a creature. Nice. So when somebody tries to kill this, they have to sacrifice a creature to pay the ward cost. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's pretty good. It's a 6/5 for 6. Yeah. That's okay. That's pretty good, I think. What do you think about this, D. Lawson? Can you hear me, D. Lawson?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What do you think about this Bloodline Ripper? What's your thoughts?
I love it.
Okay. Next, we have us another creature, a 2/2 creature for 3. Steamcore Scholar for 2 and a blue. Creature Detective Weird. I've never seen the word weird as a creature type before. Has flying and vigilance. When Steamcore Scholar enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an instant or sorcery or a creature card with flying. So you either have to have a creature with flying or instant or sorcery to discard. You have to have one of those to discard, or you want to discard 2 cards.
That's.
Go ahead. Yeah, go. Yeah, what do you say, D. Lawson?
Actually, that works really well with the Haughty Team variant there, the red blue guy that doubles up the source trees and the star guy.
Yeah. I like this card here. You're right, it'd be good with Haughty Djinn. All right, now let's go over today's spoilers. Then we'll refresh. All right, you want to take today's spoilers over? Or you want me to continue on?
Yeah, hold on, let me get him pulled up.
Okay. I don't know if you can see them on the screen or not.
Interlude of the Mind. 3 and
Where's that
3 and 2 blue. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and separate them into two piles.
Okay.
An opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile into your hand and the other one into the graveyard.
Yes,
Create a 0/0 Thopter artifact token with flying. With put a +1/+1 counter for each card put into your graveyard this way.
Okay, my thoughts on this card. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile into your hand. That's not too bad at all. I like it.
That's a fact or fiction.
Yep. Exactly. Very good card. And it's the instant also. You want me to take the next one?
Sure.
All right, Delaney, Streetwise Lookout. For 2 and a white, 2/2. Legendary creature, Human Scout. Creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. Oh my goodness. If the ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Very good for a 2/2. I like this white creature for a 2/2. What's your thoughts on it?
Alright. Yet again, another nice white weenie.
Think it's a white weenie? Well, yeah. Could be. I kind of like it though because it can't be makes your creatures that cannot be blocked. This itself cannot be blocked because it's power 2/2. That's what I like about it because it's, it's an unblockable creature. Okay. You want? We'll just do.
Magnetic Snuffer.
Okay.
When Magnetic Snuffer enters the battlefield, return target equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to the Magnetic Snuffer. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on Magnetic Snuffer.
Nice. Cost
I
5.
love the quote on that card.
It recovers precious jewelry, murder weapons, and discarded food tins with equal excitement. Yeah, it's a 4/4 for 5. Not bad at all because for equipment deck, and this card's it's not too bad. So you take all your equipment cards from your graveyard and put them into the battlefield. You only do 1 equipment. It's still not bad though. All right, next up we have Undercover Crocodile for 4 green and blue. It's 5/5. Creature, elf, crocodile, detective. Another detective. Whenever Undercover Crocodile deals combat damage to a player, investigate. So you get to create a clue token. You pay 2, sacrifice and draw a card. This card also has disguise, so you pay 3 to play it face down for a 2/2 creature with ward 2. Then you pay 3 hybrid blue green, 2 hybrid blue greens to flip it for its disguise cost. So you pay it so you can play it for 3. Then you get 5 mana on the battlefield. You can flip it into the 5/5. It's not too bad. I mean, it enables card draw, so it's not bad at all.
For a common.
Yep.
Yeah. That's one of those ones. It's a good draft filler.
Yeah.
The next one we have is a Shady Informant. When a Shady Informant dies, it deals 2 damage to any target. Disguise 2 and a hybrid red-black. He's a 4/2.
So it costs 3 for 5, 3 a black and a red, 4/2. Disguise, play it for 3, and then you pay the 2, 3, 4 to flip it. 2 hybrids, white, 2 hybrid red, black, and 2. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's another. A lot of those, most of them commons are all pretty well just draft fillers.
Yeah, I mean, this card here ain't bad, but it ain't real good either. Next up, we have got us a Fairy Snoop for 1 blue and black, 1/4. Fairy Detective with flying. Also has disguise, so you can pay 3, same cost as it cost us. And then pay the disguise cost, which is 1 hybrid black, blue, so total of 3. When Fairy Snoop is turned face up, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one into your hand and the other into your graveyard. I like this card. Not too bad. I mean, it has flying, so that's good.
Oh, well, it's got a good creature type of fairy.
Yeah, it has a good creature type too, because fairies are pretty good right down standard.
Yeah,
So,
versions of fairies, yeah, and this probably will help a fairy deck.
yep, I believe it will.
And then what we have, Culvert Ambusher, 3 and 2 green. When it enters the battlefield or is turned face up, target creature blocks this turn if able. Disguise for 4 and a green. He's a 4/5.
So you pay this for 3 for 2/2 with Ward 2. Flip it for 5. And then it forces your opponent to block a creature. So they have say they have a 3/2 on the battlefield. You have a creature that's 5/5, and they don't want to lose their creature. They don't want to block it. You have this on the battlefield. You pay the 5. You flip it. They have to block that creature. Force block. Nice. Next, we have Undercity Eliminator for 3 black for a total of 5. Huh. It is Gorgon Assassin. Another assassin. Nice. When Undercity Eliminator enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact or a creature. When you do, exile target creature opponent controls. Oh my god. This is a 3/3. Very strong effect for this creature. It does not have disguise on it, but so you have to cast it for 5. But it's still a pretty good card, I believe, because you're exiling a creature from your opponents. Say that they have Shaholdred on the battlefield. Your next turn, you get your 5th land, you play this, you exile their Shaholdred. Very nice.
For an uncommon, that is pretty darn good.
Yeah, I agree.
And the next one I absolutely love, Sybil the Players. Look at the top, 1 and a white enchantment. Look at the top card of your library at any time. Once each turn, you may cast a creature power 2 or less from the top of your library.
Nice.
Oh, that is very, very good.
Yep. And this card right here, to me, this enchantment right here will work great with this Streetwise Lookout. It's power 2. All right, next up, I'm going to have to click on this one just because it is foreign.
Oh, you can't read Japanese?
No. Anyway, for 2 green and a white, Buried in the Garden. It's a enchantment or 2 green white, enchant land. When Buried in the Garden enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent you don't control until Buried in the Garden leaves the battlefield. Whenever the enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 additional mana of any color. So yeah, it's I like it. It's pretty good. So you get to exile a creature until this leaves the battlefield, and you get an extra mana out of it too. Well, it ain't too bad.
No, actually, it's not bad at all. Actually, it's a 2 more mana. It's almost similar to a, well, it's actually a better similar effect. What, ossification and a couple other ones.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing as ossification, just costs more. But it's still, but two more than that. But it's still a good card because you're still getting the extra mana out of it, and you're taking care of the threat.
Yeah. Then we got the Case of the Stash Skeleton. When the case for 1 and a black enchantment. Put this case when this case enters the battlefield. Create a 2/1 black skeleton creature token with suspect on it. To solve, you control no suspected skeletons. One and a solved. 1 and a black. Sacrifice this case. Search your library for a card and put it in your hand. Then shuffle. Activate this ability only as a sorcery. That is Demonic Tutor with extra steps.
Yep. I mean, you get your skeleton, black skeleton out as a blocker.
You can't, if only if you can get the suspect off of it.
Yeah, that's right. It can't block. So you can't block with it. So you'll have to find some way to kill it in order to go to the second chapter of this case here.
I'll use my Undercity Eliminator.
Yeah. Then, so that's the only problem with this card is that suspect token. But I still think it's a good card just because it's a tutor. All right, next up we got us a red card. Pyrotechnic Performer for 1 and a red, 3/2. Vinchashino Assassin. Well, we got another assassin, red assassin this time. It has disguise, so you can pay the 3 for this. It costs 2 to play this, but you can pay 3 and have it come down as a 2/2 with Ward 2. Then whenever Pyrotechnic Performer or another creature you control is turned face up, that creature deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. I think this is a pretty good card for that. I mean, pretty good card because it deals damage every time you flip a creature.
I like that card for red.
You only have to pay 1 to pay the disguise cost to flip it. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Not at all.
Jace. Yeah, there's a Jace doll right here on this case right here. Stokes pointed that out. Yeah, I didn't realize that, Stokes, but yeah, you're right. It kind of looks like Jace. Interesting.
That's okay. Did you notice on the crime novelist that Fifflefit is underneath the table?
No. Let's see, that was pulled what, yesterday?
Yeah.
That looks like Vasca right here on Public Thoroughfare. Could be wrong. It's amazing. I mean, you'd be surprised what they hide in these arts. On these cards.
I know you guys have already gone over the ones from yesterday, but I just saw one that I absolutely hate.
Which one's that?
No More Lies.
Well, that means you can't tell no more lies.
I had seen that one, and I don't like counter spells, but that's just me.
I myself, I like Judith, Carnage Connoisseur. I do like that. I used to kill anything with a instant. Do 1 damage to an instant with the instant to a 6/6 and kill it.
But no, they got. I like so far what they've done with the set.
Oh, I do
They
too.
got some interesting stuff. They got some interesting stuff.
I do too. I mean, it's a lot interesting. And they're trying to, looks like they're trying to bring goblins and elves back a little bit.
Yeah. And of course, with the next one, the next set's with Outlaws of Thunder Junction. God knows where that heads.
Yeah,
Well, I assume they're going to do Cowboys at that point.
probably. All right, let's refresh and see if there is any more to come out today. No. 1, 2, 3. Well, folks, it looks like this is it. It don't look like they're coming out with any more today, and if they do, I'll probably end up doing another stream like this tomorrow, unless I'm able to do it on this on normal stream, and we'll go over the cards there. The reason why I did this second stream right here is because of me not being able to do this on the stream. All right, folks.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, I was going to say thank you for having me.
I appreciate you being here. Appreciate your input on these cards. And I'm going to get on off here, folks, and get ready to play some Commander. If anybody wants to play Commander with me, let me know in the Discord. Right here's the Discord link. And please like the stream here, and I'll see everybody later. Y'all have a good one.